Expired. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Davis, thank you for your testimony today, sir. I was particularly struck when you talked about the escalating volatility and severity of threats against public officials and judges. We need to ensure that judges and court personnel are kept safe, and your officers are crucial in that effort, and I'll fight for a budget that gives you sufficient funding so that you can do this very important work. But I would be remiss if I were not to highlight the threat to your funding that exists from this MAGA House Republican Congress, or House of Representatives, actually, who proposed in their drastic budget a cut of 22%. That would be the effect of funding U.S. Marshal Service operations at 2022 levels. This is what they proposed in the fiscal year 2024 budget. How would a rollback or a defunding of your budget affect your operations in terms of protecting judges, apprehending fugitives, protecting courthouses, and all of the other responsibilities that your department has?
Thank you for the question. I will point to the President's 24 budget that outlines what we have identified is what's needed to be able to maintain the security posture that we talked about, to respond to this evolving threat. And so
you actually needed more money.
Yes, we did.
Not
that was
less.
a request.
But House MAGA Republicans are proposing to give you less money. How would that be devastating on your ability to carry out the responsibilities that you're charged with?
Congressman, I was saying is if we ask for additional protective operations to address the threats, if we were not to get additional resources or the budget or cuts in that, then we would have to make the decision that would have that judicial security is still the #1 priority, which means we would have to, this would have an impact on the other critical missions, as you alluded to, like fugitive apprehensions, recovery of missing and endangered children, because our primary mission is the protection of the judiciary. So we would have to then make sure that all the resources necessary to accomplish that, we cannot compromise the third branch of government under any circumstances, would have to be done. But I think it would have an impact.
It would have a devastating impact, would it not?
I won't use the word devastating, but it would definitely have an impact.
Well, thank you. Sir, in 2022, DOJ updated its use of force policy to generally limit the use of no-knock search warrants to only those situations where an agent has reasonable grounds to believe that knocking and announcing the agent's presence would create an imminent threat of physical violence to the agent and/or another person. Has that new policy resulted in a decrease in search warrant applications for no-knock warrants, no-knock search warrants?
Thank you, Congressman. I would say for the Marshal Service, based on our primary mission for fugitives, that we embrace greatly the idea that the very loud announcement, we make it very clear why we're there and who we're after. So I can't think of a time, and my staff can't think of the last few years in which we've ever used no knock. And so this has not had the policy, which we comply with, does not have any impact, negative impact on our ability to operate.
All right, thank you. And insofar as the use of body cam videos by your deputy marshals on their arrests and executions of search warrants, are 100% of your deputies equipped with body cam video technology?
Thank you, Congressman. Not yet. We are moving forward with that right now. I want to say we have some over 1,700 deputies that are equipped. We are also in
out of about 5,500?
About 4,000 deputies. Mm-hmm. So about of the 4,038 operational personnel, about 1,700 are equipped. But we have identified, once again, I'm going to point back to the President's FY24, there would be sufficient resources to get to that 100%. So we're moving forward. As you mentioned, it is a priority of the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General. So we are definitely on target with the goals set by the department. And I think the team is doing very well, but we definitely need to move forward and look at equipping the remaining deputies.
Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman yields, and I yield to myself 5 minutes to ask questions. And so, Director Davis, again, thank you for being here. My questions now